It's an absolutely gorgeous night for baseball at Target Field, and in the homestand's final game, the Twins are still looking for their first win in the American League Central. A 6-game losing streak has dropped the Twins 10.5 games back of Detroit in the Central. And in the East, the Red Sox have the best record in their division and the best record in the American League. And welcome to Target Field. Dick Bramer, along with Hall of Famer Bert Blyleven. Nick Blackburn, in a sense, has represented the Twins' struggles in the second half. He does not have a win since the All-Star break.
You know what? Throughout, you play the game of baseball at no matter what level, you're going to have ups and downs. Well, the first part of the season wasn't up for Nick Blackburn. First 15 starts, very good ERA. The last 8 starts, not so good. And anytime that I had an up and down season like that, I always tried to go back to basics. You know, they talk about Nick Blackburn pitching up in the strike zone. He's trying to pitch back down. No, you have to go more east to west than north to south. You have to hit the corners. Blackburn, not a strikeout pitcher. He needs to find both sides of the plate and keep the ball down. You think about down, you're going to throw it down, but hit the corners. Blackburn needs to get ahead in the count.
Well, David Ortiz has had kind of a peculiar series here. He has the longest hit of the series. He has the shortest hit of the series. But every one of his hits in this series has led to a run.
Well, it seems like David Ortiz, since he left the Twins, gets some big hits here on Monday night. The game go-ahead run right there, and the Twins 8-6 loss. And then in last night's ball game with bases loaded, David Ortiz, outfielders playing deep. Well, the pitcher, that Phil Matre, not able to get that ball, and the go-ahead run ended up scoring.
Well, the Twins last year had the best home record in the American League, and they're hoping to pick up their first win in this homestand in the homestand's final game. On Fox Sports North is brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards.
Statue of Carl and Eloise Pohlad at Target Plaza, just beyond the right field entrance here at Target Field. John Lester, the man, going to try to sweep the Twins tonight and give them an 0-6 homestand for the first time in a long time here at Target Field. Thanks for joining us. I'm Robbie Mikowski. The Twins, this homestand, been a real forgetful one. 0-5, very uncharacteristic by the Minnesota Twins to perform the way they have. Look at the way they've been outscored, out-hit, out-homered, and also they struck out 31 times. That does not happen often for the Twins, given that last season they had the best home record in all of the American League. What's been going wrong? We don't know. We're just as surprised as you are that the Twins are struggling at home. Tonight is Nick Blackburn. He's the Twins' last chance at getting a victory in this homestand. Will it happen? Stay tuned to Fox Sports North because we got Dick Kramer and Birdfly 11 bring you first pitch next.
Nick Blackburn desperately needs to turn his and the team's season around starting tonight. He has not pitched well as of late, and his struggles actually began a few starts before the All-Star break. Terry Francona has his team going strong, particularly on the road, where they actually have as good a record on the road as they do at home. Here's the Menards batting order. Jacoby Ellsbury, Marco Scutaro, Adrian Gonzalez, Kevin Youkilis. Great numbers against Nick Blackburn and a handful of at-bats. David Ortiz, Carl Crawford, Jared Saltalamacchia. All 20 letters of him are in the lineup hitting seventh. Josh Reddick and Michael Vilas.
I'd just like to watch him sign a baseball. Jared Saltalamacchia.
We got a dozen balls. We'll be back in an hour.
There's my scouting report on Nick Blackburn. It's been a struggle to find his sinker over his last 3 starts. Only 12 and a third innings, given up 28 hits. 11 walks and 4 home runs allowed. And what Blackburn needs to do is not worry about up and down. Worry about east and west. Hit the corners of the plate. He's not a strikeout pitcher, so he needs to get ahead and make him hit. If he can find that sinker, hit it on the ground.
Northland 4 defense for the Twins. Delman Young is in left field, and Art Span is in center. Ben Revere getting a start in right. Danny Valencia, Tsuyoshi Nishioka, Trevor Plouffe, Michael Kadire around the infield. Mauer behind the plate. And Jason Krubel getting the night off out of the starting lineup. And Revere, who we've seen in center and in left, gets a chance to start in right. Boy, what a gorgeous day. Very low humidity, temperatures upper 70s. Talked to some people who were here for the very first time to see this new ballpark. And what a gorgeous night to come watch a ball game. Jacoby Ellsbury leading things off. And he takes strike one after showing bunt.
You know, one thing, when Blackburn was pitching well, we saw him work both sides, especially inside with that fastball like he did right there. Then the change up inside, and that opens up the outside part of the plate. That ball just missing down and away. Well, we have Fox Track right there in the lower part of your screen, and we'll follow the pitches throughout the ball game. We saw a lot of those pitches in the strike zone in yesterday's game called balls.
Little dribbler, Blackburn. Safe at first. It looked like he made the right call. Blackburn actually, I think, stepped on the bag, but he reached for the runner. And Ellsbury flying down the line beat it out.
He never got to the bag. I think at the last second he realized he had to tag Ellsbury, and Ellsbury just outran him right here. Little shovel pass, and then right there, you see, never touched the bag. Then he tried to tag Ellsbury, but Ellsbury already had the foot on the bag.
Well, we showed you the Ortiz hit last night, a similar ball last night that drove in the winning run, and now
I wish Ortiz had hit that one like that. I mean, Blackburn's going to beat Ortiz to the bag.
Here's Marco Scutaro.
Yeah, keep an eye on Ellsbury. He hasn't really run yet so far in this series, but 31 stolen bases on the year. Now he's been caught 11 times. Runners are 11 for 19 success rate against Nick Blackburn.
Right down the middle of strike. Blackburn has given up a lot of hits. Not that many home runs over his slump, although he gave up a couple to the White Sox. But what was really glaring in his last two starts, 11 walks allowed in 9 2/3 innings. That's very unlike Nick Blackburn.
Blackburn making his 24th start of the year. 135 2/3 innings. He's given up 165 hits. And this Boston Red Ball Club, they can hit, hitting .281 as a team.
Blackburn used to be very tough to steal on. Last couple of years we've seen teams able to steal a little bit better against Blackburn. Any particular reason why?
He just has to hold it and make that runner stop at first base. A guy like Ellsbury, just make him stop like that.
Pulled down the line, foul, 2 strikes.
Sometimes it comes down to the guys you allow on base. You let those fast guys on base, they're going to steal. Let the fat guys get on base. They don't steal.
Pedroia out of the lineup tonight. And bounced foul up the first base line. Still 2 strikes.
Terry Francona giving some guys a day off. Scutaro got the day off yesterday after going 3 for 4 here on Monday night.
A very costly week for the Twins with 6 straight losses, while the White Sox have won 5. Of course, White Sox swept the Twins here. But the Twins are right there with Chicago. And now the White Sox are right in the middle of the race. They're 4 games back. And because of the 6-game losing streak, the Twins are so far back, they just need to start playing some good baseball here. And
we've talked about it before, Dick. It's not one team that the Twins are trying to catch. It's 3 teams. Fly
ball, deep center field. Span going back. And he makes the catch, 1 away. You know, the Twins are right there with the White Sox, and boy, the world would sure look a lot differently if the Twins had a 5-6 game winning streak instead of the 6 game losing streak.
Well, there are some games, a lot of games left with the Tigers, the Indians, and the Chicago White Sox. So, you know, they can make it up that way, but they're kind of putting themselves, you know, the back against the wall, because you win 2 of 3, you only pick up 1 game. It's almost the Twins need to find a hot streak where they start sweeping some teams. That's the only way they're going to get back in the race. They're on a 6 game losing streak. They need to get a 6 to 10 game winning streak going.
Bounce right side. Plouffe gets the lead runner. And Ellsbury's retired, although he might not agree with the call. Plouffe with a throw that nearly stretched Nishioka off the base.
Nishioka becomes like a first baseman on this play. A dangerous play by Trevor Plouffe. He could have thrown this ball into left field, because look how awkward it was. But Nishioka reaching out, now keeping his right foot on the bag. This is a force out. And it looked like he got the ball before Ellsbury slid into the bag.
So a good play. Second out is at second base rather than first. And here's Kevin Youkilis. Strike 1. Twins having a tough time in this homestand, and what they need to do is win tonight and then have a really good road trip through Cleveland and Chicago to regenerate some interest in the division race. Here's a pop-up behind first.
I hope it's Chicago, but we're going to Detroit.
Plouffe with the catch. What's that?
Are we going to Detroit?
What did I say?
Chicago.
No, Cleveland and Detroit.
And Detroit, yeah.
Danny Valencia, Delman Young, Trevor Plouffe, and Tsuyoshi Nishioka.
John Lester, 27 years old, in his 6th season with the Boston Red Sox, an all-star last year, making his 22nd start, his 4th start since coming off the disabled list, where he had a sore lat muscle, and his 6th career start against the Twins. Just 1 win against the Twins in his career, and this guy's had a great career so far, win-loss wise.
Span's been struggling. We all know that. Back in the lineup, hoping that the day off yesterday will help get him straightened out. Hitless in his last 18 at bats. There was a pinch hitting opportunity last night for Span and Ron Gardenhire, and the Twins manager decided not to use him. And the idea being, look, let's just give him a complete mental break and see if that'll snap him out of his funk. 2-0.
Well, he's put on a disabled list with that concussion, and it's kind of day to day. That's what Ron Gardenhire said. It's kind of day to day. You know, how's your sight today? He said he's having sometimes picking up the seam of the baseball. It's tough when you're a hitter. You know, kind of make your living off trying to hit that baseball that comes in, maybe fastball, maybe slider. Lester has a good fastball, big slow slider or curveball, and then the slider.
Out at first. Avila's bobbled it and still got it to Gonzalez in time, according to Brian Runge. One away. Avila's was never known as a great defensive player in Kansas City.
Yeah, but watch what he does right here. He barehands it and picks it up. He does the right thing. A close play.
I think he's safe.
Span hustling down the line. Here's Brian Runge calling him out.
See, I'd make a terrible umpire.
Well, you'd need the monitor down with you.
Then I could be a little bit better. It takes usually 3 replays for me to conclude that almost always the umpire gets it right.
You know what? And I'm going to say something nice about the umpires, which I normally don't. But you know what? I bet you if you watch the replays like that right there, they get it right about 95% of the time on close plays like that.
Ben Revere with a sharp single to center.
I mean, you think, you know, you're setting yourself up as an umpire to try to listen to the ball hit the glove and then watch, you know, how quick the ball and the runner's foot hit the bag.
Now do it in real time.
Right. Well, see, Span slowed up right there, and that may have cost him an infield base hit or an error for Aviles.
And you can see he was out.
So you saw Span slow up. He thought it was a routine play. So, you know, to me, that's Span's. That's not right.
That's right.
You hustle down the line, and Span didn't do that. He gave up.
And it cost him a.
It saved Aviles an error.
Base, yeah. Here's Mauer. Ball 1.
Yeah, it's one thing that Tom Kelly really preached, and I think every manager I was with, and I'm sure Gardy does the same thing. You might have 4 or 5 at-bats in a ball game. You bust your tail in once you hit that ball as hard as you can down that line, because things like that might happen. And it costs the Twins a base runner right there.
Slow breaking ball that hits the outside corner.
Yeah, that's that slow curveball I was talking about. Then the hard slider and a changeup. Mauer 4 for 16 lifetime against John Lester. Lester 11 wins, 5 losses on the year, and 72 and 30 in his career. 72 wins, only 30 losses.
2-1. And losing the first 2 games of the series, the Twins have scored early, had an early lead, and lost it in the later innings.
You can see on the road he has been outstanding in 12 starts, 8-1 with that 2.75 ERA. Now his only win against the Twins came last year here in Minnesota. He hooked up against Francisco. The play right there, and Revere thrown out.
Went on first movement. Unfortunately, first movement from Lester went to first base. 2 down.
Well, Lester getting a pick off right here, lifting that foot up. Revere taking off. Gonzalez's good strong throw over to Scudero, and the second out is recorded. First pickoff this year for John Lester.
2-1 to Mauer. 3-1 with Kadair on deck. And Mauer walks. Northland Ford defense for the Red Sox. Carl Crawford in left. Jacoby Ellsbury in center. Josh Reddick in right. Euclid, Scudero, Aviles, Gonzalez, and Jared Saltalamacchia in the plate.
You know, Dick, to beat the Boston Red Sox, the Twins have already made 2 mistakes. Span not hustling down the line and Ben Revere getting picked off. Those things cannot happen if you want to beat a team like the Boston Red Sox.
Because you won't see them make those mistakes. Right. Here's Kadire.
Well, they can make up some of those mistakes with their power in the lineup. Twins don't have that type of power.
Strike on the outside corner. Kadire's last home run coming a week ago.
Now, I have Kadire hitting a home run here tonight. Lester's given up 16 home runs, making his 22nd start.
2 strikes. Twins baseball brought to you in Sony high definition.
Good hard slider, middle in right there to Kadire. Lester, a strikeout pitcher, 131 strikeouts in 134 innings coming into this start.
That's dumped down the right field line. Reddick coming in, won't make the play. And Mauer runs to third. So, again, to underscore what you said, imagine what this inning could look like. If Span had raged, Revere singles, Mauer walks, and now a flared single to right. Nothing across yet, but first and third, 2 down now for Thome.
You can kind of say, okay, you know what? I mean, Ben Revere got picked off. You cannot say anything about Bernard Span not hustling down the line.
Well, here's Jim Thome. Thome's last home run was 6 days ago. 2 away from the milestone of 60. 600, I mean.
He's only had 3 at-bats against John Lester over the years. Lester again in his 6th major league season. Thome in his 84th. And he has 2 hits.
No infield shift with the runners on the corners. And Thome takes outside, ball 1. Throughout the homestand, Thome's hit the ball hard enough to hit a home run. He just hasn't gotten the right loft. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Left-handers hitting only .203 against Lester. He's given up 2 home runs of the 16 he's allowed.
Two and 1.
Changeup missing low.
That's to center, and it'll drive in a run. Cost Thome a bat, but he drives in a run, and the Twins take another first-inning lead.
Well, Jim Thome picking up his 32nd RBI. Lester fell behind, came in with the pitch to Thome. The fastball away. Thome, good swing. That is broken, but Thome picks up an RBI as Mauer scores. And on the play, Michael Kadire going from first to third.
Well, here's Valencia with the runners on the corners again. Lester's only retired 1 batter, and that batter was Span on the ground ball bobbled by Aviles. Ball 1. Last night in the first inning, we had a very tight strike zone by home plate umpire Tim McClellan, and the Twins got 1 hit, took 4 walks, and after a bases or a walk to Thome to fill the bases. The second walk in a row. Valencia struck out swinging at 3 pitches.
Yeah, that against Eric Bedard. Eric Bedard threw 37 pitches in that first inning.
And now Valencia, who maybe should have taken some pitches in the first inning yesterday, takes a couple here tonight in the first inning.
"20 pitches so far for John Lester, only 9 strikes.
A lot of breaking balls.
There's Eric Bedard.
See what Valencia gets on 2-0 here. 3-0 with Delman Young on deck. Ultimately, the fact that the Twins got 1 but left 3 in the first inning last night cost them a ball game. Four straight batters have reached here against Lester. 3-0 to Valencia. Cut fastball in for a strike.
Lester's kind of going through that little stretch that Mark Burley had when he was here in Chicago White Sox. Lester, over his last 9 starts, has now allowed 3 or more earned runs in a start. His record 4-3, but a very good 2.31 earned run average. But the Twins have a chance to tack on another run or 2 here.
Full count. Thome will take off early from first. Bedard ended up striking out Valencia with a left-handed breaking ball, and Valencia swung over the top of him. Looked like that's what he did on strike 2. Bounce left side. Backhanded by Scutaro. And he makes a nice play to get Valencia. And the Twins get 1 but leave 2. It's 1-0. Pair. 1-0 Twins as we head to the second inning. A beautiful night for baseball at this beautiful ballpark. Nick Blackburn will face David Ortiz, Carl Crawford, and Jared Saltalamacchia.
Well, good first inning for Nick Blackburn. 11 pitches, 9 for strikes, and he got ahead of all 4 batters he faced.
Strike on the outside corner.
There's that east-west right there, working both sides of the plate. Don't worry about up and down. You're going to make mistakes up and down anyway, but you don't want to make mistakes over the plate, so you have to hit the corners on either side. Like that. Ooh. Good pitch.
Really disemboweled Carl Crawford. Yikes. Ortiz laughing at his teammate. Two strikes.
Ortiz, one of those guys that's always smiling. Loves to play the game of baseball, and he's just a people's person.
On it.
Wow.
And
Nice
Ortiz does not like that call at all, and Ted Barrett putting up with his animation at home plate, at least to this point.
Well, as long as he just has an argument and doesn't continue anymore, most umpires will listen, as long as you don't cuss or anything like that. That's it. Come on, man.
Here's Crawford, and that's a strike.
Same pitch. Stay out there, Nick Blackburn. No, he won't give you
Not
that
far outside.
But you know what? If you see Joe Mauer move and hit that glove, that's how you make that plate expand, and that's what Blackburn needs. He needed, that he needs that plate to expand. Good breaking ball there. Good location.
1-2. Crawford 1 for 11 in his career against Blackburn.
Now going inside.
Bouncer right side. Kadier to the bag, 2 away. Our Sanford Health injury report. Justin Morneau has talked his way into the active roster with the Major League club Friday night in Cleveland. He's going to be in Cleveland, and Alexi Casilla will be activated as well. And this will be the closest thing the Twins have had to their opening day lineup since opening day.
Yeah, the original report was Justin was going to meet the team in Detroit on Monday, but there's a lot of begging going on. Well, he's been swinging a pretty good bat down in Rochester.
And Ron Gardenhire said he down there is looking like the Morneau of old, driving the ball hard to left field. And what we saw early in the year was somebody who, because of the physical shape he was in, the numbness in his left arm, he was trying to pull everything. 2-0. And a strike on the outside corner, 2-1.
Blackburn making his 5th career start against the Boston Red Sox, his 3rd here in Minnesota, his 1st at Target Field.
Foul back.
His 2 other starts back in 2008 and 9. Both winners against the Red Sox. He's still upset about that strike. Get over it.
There's a half swing. Strike 3. And Blackburn has a 1-2-3 second inning, including a couple of strikeouts.
Here, Kerry Strug, Olympic hero from 1996 here, wearing a Twins jersey at a Twins game. Kerry, what brings you here tonight?
Well, I'm here because the Visa Gymnastics Championships are going to take place at the Xcel Energy Center next week. So I want to promote them. I love the sport of gymnastics. I'm no longer flipping, but there's going to be some great competitors. We're going to kind of showcase who's going to be in London 2012, so we're hoping everybody will come on out.
Very nice. And earlier today, you had an honor. You threw out the first pitch here at Target Field. What was that experience like for you?
You know, I was a little nervous. This really isn't where I excel, but I didn't have to stand on the mound, so that made me feel better. And I threw to the right, so definitely wasn't, exact over the balance beam, but I did okay.
Well, very good, Kerry. We're happy to have you. Thanks for taking time to join us.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
And Dickenberg, for those of you wondering what Kerry Strug is up to these days, she lives in Washington, D.C. and works full-time for the Department of Justice. So Kerry Strug, go Google her name and check out her heroic performance back in 1996.
Very nice, Robbie. Good to have Kerry in the ballpark with us. 2-1 to Delman Young, to be followed by Trevor Plouffe and Tsuyoshi Nishioka. You ever tried gymnastics?
Yeah, I did. I used to stand on my head on the field.
No, I mean when you were younger, did you ever? No. Okay.
How about yourself?
No. And a check swing, strike 2-2. Young got an RBI in the ball game last night with a bases loaded walk in the first inning. Inside, nearly hit him. Cleveland leading Detroit 8-3. They knocked out Rick Porcello in the fourth inning. 11 hits, 8 earned runs for Porcello. The Indians won in dramatic style last night. Full count to the leadoff man here in the second.
Lester, very slow tempo.
Pulled foul. Lester in his last start had it going through 5 innings, 5 shutout innings, and then he lost the strike zone. Issued a bunch of walks. He had the type of inning that Eric Bernard had in the first inning last night. He just didn't get off the hook. The Yankees nicked him for 3 runs. Fouled away.
Very deliberate on the pitching rubber, just kind of taking his time.
Another 3-2 to Young. And he takes a walk. Young picking up some walks here in this series. That'll bring up Plouffe.
A second walk for Lester.
Join Marty Gellner and the Fox Sports North crew at White Bear Bar in White Bear Lake for the Fox Sports North HD viewing party Friday starting at 5:30. Don't miss your chance to be on TV. Plus watch the Twins take on Cleveland and register to win prizes and merchandise. Visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on the events banner for details. Leadoff man is on. Here's Trevor Plouffe. Strike on the outside corner. Plouffe getting the start at second base. Made a nice play in the first inning, getting a force play at second. Alexi Casilla will be at second base Friday in Cleveland. Popped up. It'll reach the seats. 2 strikes. We've seen Plouffe in the outfield. We've seen him at second base. We have not seen him at short at all since he's been recalled. And Young goes. Got a pretty good jump.
Yeah,
but the pitch popped up. Saltalamacchia back by the screen and can't make the play. Delman has not done much running, but it sure looked that time as if he had a pretty good read on Lester.
Well, you know, at the last couple times I was watching Delman, normally he takes a lead of maybe a couple steps out, but got a pretty good lead right there and then takes off. Looks in, so maybe a hit and run was put on by Ron Gardenhire. But that's a pretty good lead right there for Delman.
And it probably will result in a couple of throwovers now. Nope. Tap foul.
Well, Lester kind of quick pitched right there.
Lester picked off Revere in the first inning after his one-out single. One and two. With the Twins adding the likes of Borno and Casilla to the active roster, somebody's got to go. And it'll be interesting to see how the Twins play that out. Adding an infielder, a middle infielder, and a first baseman.
There's Casilla.
You've got
He's ready to go.
Right. Has been for several days. 1 and 2. Rope foul.
Right-handers hitting 242 off of John Lester. Fastball in. Proof opening up quickly, but lining it foul.
One and two. Young used to be a threat to steal. Had 14 steals in his first season with the Twins. Pass swing, I think he went. Strike three, says home plate umpire Ted Barrett.
Yeah, Ted Barrett didn't need to ask Brian Rungby on that. Lester picks up his first strikeout. Like that big slow breaking ball inner half and quick bat. Boy,
I don't think he went at all. Ron Comer, Tsuyoshi Nishioka showing a little bit of power last night, actually turning on a fastball from the left side.
Yeah, he did. He's put in a lot of work with Joe Vavra in the last couple of months of trying to figure out his swing since he's been back. And, you know, it's been tough. Might get a little base hit right here.
And Young will be doubled off first. So Nishioka on one pitch pops up into a double play, and the Twins are done in the second. today. You believe that? In the middle of a metropolitan area, the Lake of the Isles and the Minneapolis Chain of Lakes Regional Park. The Lake of the Isles connected to Cedar Lake and Lake Calhoun, part of the Chain of Lakes Regional Park. Over 5.5 million visitors a year. Twins have a 1-0 lead. We go to the third inning. Josh Reddick is the hitter against Nick Blackburn. First pitch taken low, ball 1. We're happy to have John Malign with us, the Director of Sales and Marketing for the Minnesota Lottery. We'll talk about the lottery and some of the features of it. Bouncer to first. And Kadair has an easy play. 1 down.
Well, John, tell us, how's the lottery doing?
Oh, we are having a fantastic year. I would like to say that we set a sales record, and that's a tribute to all of Minnesota for supporting us. And I'd also like to say that we set a huge milestone. We just gave back to the state. We've been around for 21 years. We gave back to the state our $2 billionth. Wow. So that means a lot to this state.
And last year, over $120 million going to the state. Right?
Over $120 million. It goes to the general fund and the environment. And so both are great programs.
The bouncer over the bag. And Aviles has an extra base hit. Just out of the reach of Valencia for a 1-out double.
Yeah, Valencia playing a little bit off the line. It's almost like slow motion for Dandy to try to catch up this ball, at least knock it down. And Aviles, who's always been a very good hitter, kind of got jammed right there and hit that ball just right down that line. And Danny dove for it, couldn't knock it down. Ends up being a double, a 1-out double. Just coming up a little short.
Ellsbury hit a little dribbler between the mound and first base, ended up reaching on an infield hit.
Now, John, when you say the general fund, what is the general fund? Is education, schools?
Exactly. The general fund is like the state's checkbook. Most of the dollars go to K through 12 education and social services. We also give money to the environment. Most people understand that. They can see the projects that we do. And I'm happy to say that we've almost given $800 million to the environment. That helps a variety of things.
Blackburn's got the runner trapped.
Run at him, run him all the way back. Now give it up. Yep.
Now Ellsbury's going to end up.
Yeah, now you run him all the way back. Keep running.
And tag everybody in case both of them move off the base. 2 down.
We've seen the Twins in the past kind of mess up this play by allowing the runner to go. And Blackburn, you want to run him back to the base he came from. Watch this Blackburn right there. Run him back. But watch Nishioka. He's got to come a little bit closer. But Nishioka's staying back. And this allows the runner, Ellsbury, to go from first to second.
I was going to ask you, there's got to be a way to get that runner and leave Ellsbury at first base.
Nishioka's got to come toward the runner, so it's a quick tag, and then Ellsbury stays at first. Unless Blackburn makes him go closer to the bag, but then you're taking a chance of, you're too close to that, like Nishioka. Nishioka's got to come running toward the runner.
Scudero takes a slow breaking ball for a strike. Well, John, you were talking about some of the money from the lottery going to the environment. I'd always thought it was fitting that the signature sounder for the lottery is the call of the loon.
Yeah, it's a perfect moniker, and the loon sound, everybody understands it, and it's what we try to use in a lot of our commercials.
Pop up. Mauer has a play, should end the inning. John Malign, thank you for joining us, the Director in Sales of Marketing for the Minnesota State Lottery.
And the Twins put a 0 on the board. Nice going, John. Thanks.
/baseball. Dylan Holton from beautiful Stewartville down in the southeastern part of the state. What's the highest number of stolen bases in a season by a Twins player? We're talking about Ben Revere, and as he matures, draws some more walks, gets on base a little bit more, he might be in the 50 stolen base club, but the record is 62. Knobloch, right?
Chuck Knobloch in 1997.
Stewartville down in the southeastern part of the state, a little bit north of Racine, Minnesota. Here's Span squaring to bunt, taking a strike. It's 1-1. Span hit the chopper to Aviles. Aviles bobbled it. Looked like Span kind of jogged his way down toward the first 45 feet, and then turned it on and ended up being just retired for the first out. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Orioles jumped over Philip Humber early, but now the White Sox have tied that game at 4 in the 7th inning. Another bouncer to Aviles. One down. And Revere will hit next. Twins' next home games will be against the Yankees. It's a 4-game series beginning Thursday, August 18th. Budweiser is the proud presenter of that showdown with the Bronx Bombers. Limited tickets, including standing room only, are available for the final 2 games. Call 800-33-TWINS. Visit twinsbaseball.com and check on ticket availability. Here is Revere, who lined a sharp single to center his first time up, then was picked off first. Ball 1. I think we all imagined there would be times when Span and Revere would be in the outfield together, but one in center and the other in left. The bunt foul, and if anyone of the two had gone into right field, it would be Span and not Revere. But Ron Gardenhire sending Revere to right field.
Yeah, Jason Kubel, who's been out there the last couple of days getting the night off, just 2 for 11 lifetime against John Lester. Revere has never faced him up until that first at bat where he got the base hit up the middle.
1-2.
Nice play by Jerry White. Lester, a 19-game winner last year for the Boston Red Sox, 19-9 in 32 starts.
And a breaking pitch gets Revere out, number 2.
Lester picks up his second strikeout. Good hard slider down and away.
Bring up Bauer, who walked and scored in the first.
Watch the bite right there. It looks like a fastball, and then out of the reach of Ben Revere.
Strike 1. One and one. Twins got 3 hits in the first inning. The sharpest hit, the one off the bat of Revere. Kadire hit a little pop fly single. Tomey a broken bat single. And now Lester hasn't given up a hit since. A bouncer up the line. And Gonzalez fields and tags. And another 1-2-3 inning for John Lester. Player of the game. Text the word value followed by a space and the player's name to short code 234-234. Jim Tomey's driven in the only run, so he's got most of the votes. Stands to reason. Go to the fourth inning. Twins up 1-0. Adrian Gonzalez, Kevin Youkilis, and David Ortiz to face Nick Blackburn. And we're happy to have David James with us, the director of the MLB RBI program, on a big weekend here in the Twin Cities with the RBI World Series being played at fields in Minneapolis and St. Paul. The championship game actually will be held here in the Target Field. David, welcome to the Twin Cities.
All right, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell us a little bit about the field. It's more than a national field. We've got an international field.
That's right. We have 16 teams, 8 in 2 divisions, 7 U.S. champions and Caribbean champions. And in the senior division for the first time, we have a team from Venezuela here participating in the RBI World Series. In the junior division, it's a team from the Dominican Republic.
How about Curacao or Aruba or any place down there yet? Have you gone there yet?
Yes,
he's from the Netherlands. That's why.
we actually do have an RBI program in Curacao. This is their second year. Virgin Islands has been in the past. The Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico had dominated. But we're really excited about having the young men from Venezuela here with us.
Very good. Now, the RBI program has been, what, 22 years?
That's correct. 22 years. Started back in 1989 in South Central Los Angeles.
Right. Who started that? It was somebody named Young. Right?
Yes, John Young.
John Young.
That's right.
I remember when it first started. I was still playing, and I got involved in that. But I know here in Minnesota, Denard Span is a big spokesperson for the RBI program.
Absolutely. He actually came out and greeted the representatives from the 16 teams pregame. I know the kids got a real big kick out of that.
1-2 to Adrian Gonzalez. Paul Molitor was the guest speaker at the banquet. And I remember in the early 90s, Dave Winfield and Kirby Puckett, who were teammates with the Twins, donated an awful lot of equipment to the RBI program.
That's right. They got the RBI program at that time. It was called Rookie League here in the Twin Cities. They got that program underway, and now going into this season, the Twins through the Twins Community Fund, the RBI program participation here is just under 6,000 kids, ages 5 through 18, baseball and softball, playing here in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. You mentioned Dave Winfield. Also, Dave will be the keynote speaker for the closing banquet for the boys Saturday night, actually here in the Crew Atrium.
Oh, that's great. I know Torrey Hunter and also LaTroy Hawkins were involved with the RBI program.
There's some video from the dinner last night. And for those of you who don't know, the RBI program stands for Reviving Baseball in the Inner City. That's how the RBI is attached to the name. That's the first time the Twin Cities have held the event here, correct?
That is correct. And they'll also be the host next year. So we're going to be here at least for the next 2 years.
So one down with Gonzalez striking out and Youkilis taking strike one.
Well, you know what's nice to see about the RBI program, David, is that there's kids that went through the program that are playing Major League Baseball.
Absolutely. Tonight, Carl Crawford with the Red Sox is an RBI graduate, played in the RBI World Series. He participated in the program out of Houston, Texas, and actually Houston has 2 representatives, a team in the junior and the senior division here participating.
C.C. Sabathia, one of them, Justin Upton,
that's
Michael Bourne. And the Twins have somebody in the minor league system, Aaron Hicks.
That's right. Yep.
1-2 to Youkilis.
I know Torrey Hunter has been outspoken that, he wants to see more African Americans in the game of baseball. And how do you do that? And there's a great program right here to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of grassroots efforts in communities across the country. And probably even more importantly, beyond what takes place on the field, is some of the things that we try to focus on off the field, continuing education, using the adults in these particular communities to become mentors for these young men, these young ladies. And, that's great that we get some that, make it to the highest levels of playing, but also probably most importantly, we want to develop Major League citizens.
That's a good thing that you brought up right there, mentors. And no matter what program it is, the Boys and Girls Club, whatever, you need mentors to be there for the kids when they participate in the RBI program. And that alone keeps you guys busy.
Absolutely. One of the things that we did last night is honored 6 young men that were part of the 12 RBI for RBI scholarship winners, where annually we provide $5,000 per year scholarships for undergraduate studies for participants in RBI programs that are college bound, as a way to help defray some of the costs so that education is an achievable goal for these young men and women.
I know the Twins Community Fund is involved with the RBI program, but somebody that's out there listening right now, how can they get involved by maybe donating some money? Maybe they don't have the time, but they may have the resources to maybe help put into the RBI program.
Then locally, I would recommend that they reach out, by phone or email to the Twins Community Fund. They've been fantastic supporters, not only of what's going on here locally, but the program nationwide.
Is there a website that someone can look at?
Yes, you can go to www.mlb.com/RBI.
Very good. Very good.
Nationally, over 200,000 boys and girls, 5 to 18, get a chance to play baseball and softball every year because of the RBI program. 1-1 to David Ortiz, who was called out on strikes his first time up. And Blackburn misses inside 2-1. And I guess maybe that's an important part to bring up, too, that this isn't just for boys playing baseball. You've got girls playing softball.
That's right. Last week we did the softball portion of the RBI World Series. 8 teams. The championship game was played at the University of Minnesota and won by the Los Angeles RBI program over the Dominican Public girls by a score of 3-0.
Wow.
Here at Target Field, it'll be a pretty special day for those playing in the championship games. The junior game at 9:30, senior game at 1, free admission to all spectators. Some of these kids who play on maybe some fields that aren't pristine or perfect are going to get a chance to play it off in the championship in one of the best ballparks in the country.
That's right. This morning we did the team photos here and did a little brief opening ceremonies here, and you could hear the chatter amongst the kids as they were out there and talking about they're going to be one of the 4 teams that gets an opportunity to play here on Sunday.
What a great goal.
Yeah, here's absolutely. A former RBI player, Carl Crawford, now in a key spot with runners at first and second, 1 down. Ortiz slashing a single to left. Crawford takes a strike on the inside corner. I was not joking in the open. Every hit that David Ortiz has picked up in this series has led to a Boston run. He's either scored after getting a hit, his hits have driven in a run. So Blackburn hoping to end that string here in the 4th inning.
I didn't think you were joking. To be honest with you.
Didn't? You thought I was serious?
I
dead
thought you were serious.
Well,
yeah.
you've worked with me longer.
Yeah. I never knew him. He could joke, David. I didn't know that. So of course, there's some of the young men in the RBI program watching the ball game.
Very good.
Ooh, up and away, 2-1. Well, just think about that, though. There are over 200,000 boys and girls who might not be playing baseball without the RBI program. And Bert ran off a list of major leaguers who've rolled up their sleeves and pulled out their wallets to help build it up. 2-1. Swing and miss, 2-2.
Good change up right there.
We talked to the young men in orientation last night just about that, the opportunity that they have of 200,000 participants, and they're 240 kids out of that 200,000, and that they should seize this opportunity, relish it. We had a workout today with the Scouting Bureau, so a lot of these kids got a look-see from the Scouting Bureau, and also some college scouts were here also.
Well, you know what, David, is so cool about this program is that, all of these kids that aren't in ball, they're not going to get to the big leagues. Maybe not going to sign, but as they get older, they remember the RBI program, and they probably want to stay involved.
Yes, and there's a number of coaches from the teams that are here that participated in their local RBI programs, and it impacted their life, that they make sure that they give back and help the next generation.
So pass it on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crawford hanging tough, a couple of 2-2 fouls. Blackburn trying to protect a 1-0 lead. We're visiting with David James, the director of the MLB RBI program. They're holding the championship, the tournament, and the championship games this weekend will be played here at Target Field. Now wide of the plate, 3-2.
Yeah, most pitches Nick Blackburn has had to use so far this inning. 23 pitches this inning. 11 in the first, 12 in the second, 8 in the third, and now the fourth here trying to get out of it.
Not a whole lot of speed on the bases. We wouldn't think the Red Sox would send the runners here. 3-2, and a chopper off the plate foul. Crawford is 1 for 12 in his matchups with Blackburn, but he's really providing a pesky at bat here.
Yeah, when you're out on that mound and you make a pretty good pitch like Blackburn did right there, and that hitter fouls it off, it's oh geez, now I have to come back with another 3-2 pitch. Good hitters like Crawford, they foul off those good pitches.
Fly ball center field. Span in position, out number 2. So a long battle. Blackburn wins the battle, and Jared Saltalamacchia will come to the plate. So you said the tournament is here this weekend, and then next year as well back in the Twin Cities.
That's right. The Twins are the hosts for the next 2 years. Pool play begins tomorrow. We'll be playing Thursday, Friday, Parade Stadium, Tony Stone Stadium at the Neiman Athletic Complex. We'll get through pool play. Elimination Day is Saturday, and then, of course, Sunday here. And locally, they said, you know, getting the local crowd out, they wanted to be reminiscent of what happens with Gopher games and the high school baseball championships here at Target Field.
So if you want to catch some baseball at Target Field, and we know many Twins fans still have not been in this ballpark, here's an opportunity for you to see some young people play baseball in this beautiful ballpark. Free admission.
That's right.
Come on out and watch some baseball and walk around this beautiful new ballpark. 1-0 to Saltalamacchia. That's flared foul, 1-1. Blackburn trying to pitch around a pair of one-out singles. He struck out Saltalamacchia swinging in the second inning.
David, what's your tie-in? I know that you're the director of Major League Baseball RBI program. Were you involved in the RBI program yourself?
No, ironically, I'm originally from Williamsport, Pennsylvania,
okay.
The home of Little League,
Yes.
and actually worked for Little League for 11 years. But through some of the work that I did with Little League, had worked with Major League Baseball's Community Affairs Department on a number of projects to provide playing opportunities in underserved communities, and was fortunate enough to be picked for the program to head up RBI and try to expand the efforts that the commissioner wants in regards to growing the game of baseball and softball.
That's great.
It'll pop up, but it'll peel back into the seats. Nice catch.
I remember John Young used to come to the ballpark at Major League Ballpark, and he was a scout, I believe, at one time that started the program.
That's right. John played for the Detroit Tigers,
right.
but then had a longer career as a pro scout. But there in South Central Los Angeles,
right.
Was really troubled by the lack of participation of African American youth in baseball, and so started the program. Major League Baseball supported, and ultimately took his vision and grown it to over 200,000 participants.
And that's something, how you can have a dream like that and a goal, and you find other people to help you out, and it becomes a great success.
Absolutely.
That pitch just missing inside.
2-2 now to Saltalamacchia. Long half inning for Blackburn.
You want something to happen right here. You don't want to go 3-2 because of the lack of speed on the bases.
There's a call, third strike. Our thanks to David James, the director of the MLB RBI program. David, we wish you weather something along the lines of what we have here tonight.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
stories start here. By AT&T. And by Miller High Life. Miller High Life is proud to sponsor Operation Home Base. Give a veteran a piece of the high life. Starting with Michael Kadire. Then Jim Thome, Danny Valencia facing John Lester here in the fourth. Blackburn pitched out of a little bit of trouble in the fourth inning. Strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, a couple strikeouts for Blackburn in that inning after giving up to get the strikeout, a couple base hits, and then struck out Saltalamacchia to end the inning.
Strike two.
Got a best wishes right here. Hunter Shear. He's in St. Paul Children's Hospital and is recovering. He's a huge Twins fan. And we'd like to say a big get well soon, Hunter, and have a fast recovery.
Youkilis with a quick release. What a fine play by Kevin Youkilis. One down, and before Thome comes to the plate, our AT&T trivia question. Who was the last Red Sox player to lead the American League in runs batted in? Gonzalez leading now. They've had some great RBI machines in this Boston lineup, really, from the time they had Babe Ruth. Here's Thome. The RBI single in the first, the only run of the game so far. And down and away, ball one. Slow breaking ball. 1-1.
Kind of uses that for his changeup, that big slow curveball. He's got the hard slider, fastball, and then that slow curveball is kind of like a changeup to John Lester.
1-2. People wondering about Thome, when he'll hit 600, when he'll hit 599, and they of course want the milestone home run to happen here. Fouled back. And if you're wondering, boy, it sure seems like he's striking out a lot. He struck out a lot 20 years ago.
Yes, he did. That's part of a power hitter right there. Willie Stargell struck out a lot. Reggie Jackson struck out a lot.
Harmon Killebrew struck out a lot. 1-2 to Thome. But when they make contact, 2-2. If it doesn't happen tonight, it might happen in Cleveland. That's where the next road trip begins. Busted bat again. Youkilis lobs it across the diamond, 2 down. So he broke a bat with his single in the first, and now another one shattered, 2 away. Red Sox opting not to shift Thome.
And right to Youkilis right there for the easy out.
And here's Valencia with the bases empty. Chopper in front of Youkilis. And he makes the play. Good play by Youkilis, particularly the first out and the third out.
Thank you.
And tune in to Fox Sports North on Sunday, August 14th. Operation Home Base, presented by Miller High Life. We'll be in Cleveland. Marnie Gellner will be in Fargo with the 119th Air National Guard Base for an inside look at drill training, plus how they'll help those overseas and in their own backyard.
Yeah, World War II vet, 89 years old, celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday to you.
And
well, you want to know how many more days until my birthday?
yes,
we have 241.
okay. Here's Josh Reddick.
You know, a couple people that went to Cooperstown, and they, in my display, they have actually, I think a couple years ago, they have the scorebook. And they were looking at, I guess, what page they turned it to, and they saw a number on the right corner.
I saw the display. I know what you're talking about.
And they said, now we remember, now we know how you remember how many days until your birthday because you write it in your book.
That's right. And the page, you know what page they turned your scorebook? Opened
no,
it to?
I didn't get a chance to really look at it.
And it was my son Eric who discovered it. He said that was Santana's 17th strikeout game.
Is that right?
And they opened it up to that, and there were 200 and some whatever days left to your birthday. Here's another bouncer to Kadair at first. One down.
Well, let's take a look at my scorebook right here. And
but now that's a bigger scorebook.
It's a bigger scorebook, yeah. But right here is where I put 241. So there's 241 more days until my 61st birthday.
And since we have the camera on us right now, the actual date of your birthday, in case you forget, is tattooed where?
Well, I'm sitting on it.
Okay.
April 6th. Right. Yes, thank you. You want me to show you that too?
No.
Okay.
Here's Aviles. One strike.
Well, Blackburn has been on here today. I mean, he has been struggling coming into this game, but you know what? You have to put all that behind you. Today's a new day.
Base hit to right, Ron Coomer. One thing we've noticed is he hasn't fallen behind hitters and specifically hasn't walked them here tonight.
Well, he hasn't done either one. I agree with you, Dick. And to me, you know, when Blackie was struggling the last few outings, he was misfiring some high a few starts ago. His last start, he had a real short stride, and Bert, you've talked about that, and he misfired low a lot. Today, he's been down in the zone, but like you talked about in our conference call this morning, talking about pitching and talking about Nick, is going east to west. Today, we've seen a lot of pitches and his changeup and slider, both on either corner. But to me, he's also kept the ball down. You notice he's getting a lot of ground balls. Sinker really going down towards the dirt. Good pitch tonight.
Tap foul by Ellsbury.
You know, when I pitched, I never worried about keeping the ball, you know, down and north to south. I always concentrated east to west. If I could hit that corner, you know, to a right-handed hitter down and away, that's the only pitch I ever wanted coming out of the bullpen. Control of my fastball down and away, and then fastball down and away to a left-hander. I never worried about up and down. I worried about left to right.
Bert, I have a question for you as a fastball curveball pitcher primarily. When you threw, did you have much movement on your fastball? Like, did you throw the two-seamer that had movement either way, or was your fastball more of a straight four-seam fastball that you could throw to either corner?
Well, it depended on how much that ball was cut up, Ron, depending on how much it moved.
I didn't know you wanted to give all your secrets away. You just got in the Hall of Fame, so I guess maybe it doesn't matter now.
Revere back in the warning track, makes a nice catch.
Yeah, very good concentration by Ben Revere going back onto the warning track. And Denard Span, I'm sure, trying to get over there and yelling at him, "You've got room, you've got room." Ellsbury hitting this ball hard. Now, he's got 19 home runs. But Ben Revere going all the way to the wall, making a good catch, good concentration, nice running catch. And then got it back in.
He's got 19 bombs, but not in this ballpark he doesn't.
Well, Ron Gardenhire was talking about Revere and the decision to put him in right field. He said, you know, we got a pretty big right center field here. Here's a liner to left, Delman Young coming in. Whoa. Some problems perhaps with the lights at the last instant. Nearly that one in the teeth.
winner circle, and this right here is $100 in Minnesota State Lottery tickets, Bert. This is for Jack, who's from Red Wing, Minnesota, a well-known physician there, celebrating his 80th birthday, and he's got the countdown to your birthday, Bert. He knows 240 days until your birthday. Now, Jack, you have just been circled by Bert. How about that?
Oh, thank you, Bert. Thank
you're
you
welcome,
very much,
Jack.
Bert. I love you, man.
I love you too, Jack.
He says he loves you too, Jack, okay? And he's got 9 family and friends right here celebrating with him. How about that?
That's great. That's great. They got hold of me through circlemebert.com. Jack is very, he's terminal, okay? And this might be his last baseball game, so I'm glad that we got a chance to circle him, and God bless you, Jack, and your family.
Delman Young with a 1-1 count, leading off the 5th against John Lester. Young drew a walk in the 2nd. Now he sends a rocket right over his back into center field. So Lester had retired 8 men in a row, and Young brings that up with a sharp single to center.
After Delman Young making that final catch that almost took his head off, right here gets a fastball away, and he has allowed to extend his arms and hit that ball right back up the middle. Here's the catch right here. You can see he kind of maybe lost flight of that ball and kind of looks and says, "Hey, it's in my glove." Awesome.
See what Plouffe is asked to do here. He struck out his first time up after Young got a leadoff walk. Inside, Youkilis playing even with the bag at third.
Remember in that at bat for Plouffe in his last time up in the 2nd inning, Delman Young walked, and then they tried a little hit and run, and Plouffe ended up fouling it off. Delman on the year, just 1 attempt of a stolen base, and he was successful.
Chopper to short. Should be a double play. 2 down. Well, Ron Coomer, we were starting to talk about it in Nishioka's first at bat, but now in his 2nd at bat. What have you noticed him doing differently?
Well, I think what we're seeing is a lot of work going in with Joe Vavra on trying to get him loaded and back, and then hitting where you see his front toe closed and hitting with his legs on the ground and his feet underneath him, and staying balanced without running as he's trying to make contact. And I think finally, after all the issues Nishioka's had of being hurt, you have to get your front foot down before you start swinging. He likes to float that foot off the ground as the pitch is coming. That foot has to land, and then you have to recognize the pitch before you can make the swing. I think he's finally starting to get some timing back.
Hey, Ron, let me ask you something, because I heard this in Japan. There might be only maybe a couple handfuls of guys that really throw, say, hard, okay, in Japan. They're not as big as here in the United States. That, over here, almost every night you see guys that'll throw 92, 95 miles an hour. And they say it's taken Nishioka a little bit while to realize that he has to be a little bit quicker.
Well, there is no doubt that the game was tough for him when he first got here. It was just speeded up. And hopefully he's catching up to the speed, because we know he's a quality player.
And Lester faces just 3 men in the 5th inning. the best weather in Cleveland. I'm not sure why that is. It seems most of the time when we go to Cleveland, the weather's very nice, and that's expected to be the case this weekend. 1-0 ball game here. Adrian Gonzalez will lead off the 6th. Followed by Youkilis and Ortiz. First pitch tap foul over by the Twins dugout. Now maybe the weather in Cleveland is always good. Was that your case when you played there, that the Indians always had great weather for?
I played in that dungeon down by the lake.
Right.
We never saw the sun. That big old 80,000 seat stadium. It was all enclosed, so when the sun shined, we were pretty happy. But usually pretty good weather by the lake there, yeah. Lake Erie.
I just said that during coming out of break, it seems like we get our best weather on the road in Cleveland. Some of the consistently best weather, for whatever reason, is when we go to Cleveland.
And that's a beautiful field, too, isn't it? Progressive
Very
field.
Nice. 2-1 to Gonzalez. He'll be followed by Youkilis and Ortiz. Twins hanging on to a 1-0 lead. Nick Blackburn has scattered so far 5 Boston hits. He hasn't walked anyone. And if there's a lesson to be learned about last night's game, tight strike zone or not, you just can't walk the Red Sox because eventually you'll pay.
Yeah, they have too good a hitting ball club. Hitting .281, the best in the American League, best in all of baseball. Most doubles, most runs scored.
Full count. Blackburn's had a couple of 3-ball counts, but for the most part he's been around the plate and has pitched ahead of hitters.
Yeah, just a 4th inning. He needed 31 pitches, only 11 in the 5th.
Another grounder foul.
Well, you see Boston average, that's in the major leagues right there, the .281, but runs scored first, home runs second, and doubles first. A lot of power in that lineup. For that man right there, Terry Francona, is 8th season as manager of the Red Sox. Also managed in Philly.
Another 3-2 to Gonzalez. That's to center. Span comes in to make the catch, 1 away. Back to our AT&T trivia question. The last Red Sox player to lead the American League in RBI. I go Carl Yastrzemski.
I'll go David Ortiz.
Yep.
And it is David Ortiz.
And he will hit next behind Kevin Youkilis. That was the year that Ortiz and a lot of people thought he would win the league MVP award, but it didn't happen. Pounded foul, a strike.
Oh, we got our Circle Me guest up here, Jack. Jack celebrating his 7th birthday here today at Target Field. And somebody wrote on here, "Hey Jack, you are a knucklehead," and hereby circled. So happy birthday to you, buddy.
1-1.
Look at this smile right here. I'm going to put him on camera. Happy birthday. Look at that. You're a movie star, Jack.
Liner to Nishioka, out number 2. And a reminder that the Fan, KFAN, moves to FM 100.3 on Monday. 2 gone on the 6th. Here's David Ortiz.
Well, Jack and his family are part of the KFAN promotion. But Jack at 7 doesn't know that. He's just celebrating his birthday. Jack, you know how many more days until my birthday? 241. Wow. And he's smiling again.
And ball 2. Ortiz called out on strikes in the 2nd. Then he hit a liner to left for one of the 5 Boston hits. At the knees, strike.
Good pitch. Good pitch again by Blackburn. That's the east and west, the left and right part of the plate that Blackburn has been able to really control so far here tonight.
3-1.
And even though he misses away rather than over the plate.
2 gone in the 6th. Blackburn hasn't walked anyone after walking 6 men in his last start. Crawford on deck. And Ortiz draws a 2-out walk. Great collector's item now available at Best Buy and the Twins merchandise outlets and at twinsbaseball.com. A compilation of the full broadcast of the 7 games of the 1991 World Series, along with a brand new documentary entitled Magic in Minnesota. They're packaged together and they're now on the shelves. Get this great collection. Get ready for the 1991 reunion weekend, which was last weekend. All 7 games of the 91 World Series and Magic in Minnesota will be available at Best Buy, Twins merchandise outlets, and twinsbaseball.com. 1 strike to Crawford. And a ball. This Boston lineup so potent. And they have the best record in the American League. Got off to a very slow start. A fly ball to center. Span with the catch, and that ends the inning. A very good 6 innings worth of work for Nick Blackburn. 6 shutout innings against the Red Sox.
He made contact with the wall, and then the same inning, Delmon Young coming in on this line drive catch, taking the 3rd out.
And the Coors Light 6th inning freeze cam. Bernard Span leading off the bottom of the 6th for the Twins. Ball 1. Span with a couple of ground balls to Aviles.
Dick, remember when Span was activated, he said it's going to take him a while to find that stroke. Well, it has, but he's always had very good success against Boston.
And for that, it's our window concepts window of opportunity with Span leading off the 6th inning. 1-2. Span, Revere, and Mauer. Twins haven't done much against Lester. They chipped a couple of hits into the outfield to score a run in the 1st inning. fouled back.
Well, a pitcher like Lester, you have to get him early, and the Twins had him on the ropes. He had put himself on the ropes in the first inning. But, you know, the non-hustle down that line of Denard Span and Ben Revere getting, you know, picked off for here there's 2 outs, then the walk by Mauer, Kadyr's base hit, the RBI single by Thome. You had him on the ropes, but Lester worked out of it.
Down and away, 2-2. Span might be one of those guys where he'll break out of the slump after he draws a few walks. Ordinarily a very patient hitter and a very good eye at the plate. We've seen him strike out an awful lot since he's returned to the lineup. Checks his swing, takes a called third strike.
And Lester picks up his 3rd strikeout.
Arby's at Fox Sports North giving you a chance to win a trip for 2 to Fort Myers, Florida. Pick up an Arby's It's Good Mood Food Code Card every Friday at any participating Arby's. Log on to foxsportsnorth.com for complete contest details. 1 gone on the 6th. Here's Ben Revere.
Revere, one of the 4 hits the Twins have been able to get so far against John Lester. Singled in the first inning, then struck out in the 3rd. A good slider down and away.
Two and 0. 11 wins on the year, and getting an abundance of run support so far this year, particularly on the road.
Well, he had 1 in Cleveland. He got 14 runs. Another time in Toronto, we got 14 runs. So sometimes, you know, I mean, 14, 28, and all of a sudden he gets none, and it's still 3 divided by 28 because it's 3 games, and it's still averaging 9. So, yeah, some of those 14s doesn't mean that he's always going to get run support.
He hasn't gotten any tonight. 2-1 to Revere. 3-1 with Mauer on deck.
2 walks for Lester. They came in the first 2 innings. Mauer in the first, and then Delman Young leading off the second.
And Revere draws a walk. We'll see what, if anything, the Twins try to do with his legs at first base and Mauer at the plate.
Well, remember, he got picked off in that first inning, so maybe, you know, it's the first time he'd seen Lester's move.
And it was Lester's first pickoff of the season.
Right.
Mauer walked and scored in the first inning.
Again, Ben Revere at first base, 19 stolen bases in 24 attempts.
Now, Mauer, of course, can drive the ball the other way, but look how shallow they're playing him in left and in center. It's a reflection of how fast Crawford and Ellsbury are. They must feel that even playing that shallow, they can run back to the gap and make a play. I mean, they're playing not much, if any, deeper for Mauer than they were for Ben Revere.
One thing Mauer hasn't shown a lot of, and that's power. You know, I mean, most of his hits are just over the infield. 9 doubles, 1 home run for Joe Mauer on the year. Has 61 hits.
On the outside corner, 1-1. This is the inning, the 6th, where Lester really had problems against the Yankees. Yankees bunched some hits and walks together and finally scored 3 runs against him after he pitched 5 shutout innings.
Well, Dick, we just haven't seen Mauer get into that groove yet. That, you know, when he can get, you know, hits just like that. Turning over a lot of pitches, hitting a lot of ground balls to second, first. course, missed 2 months, but this guy last year, I mean, he's a career 327 hitter coming into this year. Last year hit 327, third best in the American League. Hit 9 home runs, drove in 75. Twins need him. There's a couple other guys on that ball club. They need them to start swinging the bat a lot more consistently.
Time call. It'll be interesting to see how things work, not just for Mauer, but for the whole lineup. When Mauer has Casilla hitting in front of him and Morneau hitting behind him. I mean, those two guys are pretty important guys in the Twins lineup when they're healthy. You'd think that Mauer, more than anybody else, might benefit from having those guys sandwiching him in the batting
order. Well, we hope so. I guess we'll find out Friday night.
That slice to the corner, and that's a fair ball. It stays in play. No, fan interference, and they'll hold. No, they're going to send him in. They're going to send Revere in, and they are doing for the Twins what they did against them in Detroit. Fan interference is called, and with Revere's speed, they will give him a third base.
Yeah. That's an umpire's judgment call right there. Ted Barrett watching it and saying even if the fan did not interfere, that Ben Revere would have scored anyway, because where this ball was headed.
You'll go an entire season without seeing it called once, and the Twins have had it called twice.
Well, the inside-out swing by Joe Mauer, and then right down the line, and you see the fan caught the ball, but Ben Revere was between second and third, and even if Crawford, who doesn't have the strongest arm.
Terry Francona talking with the crew chief.
Yeah.
Tim McClellan. But of course, Francona can't see the fan interfere with the ball.
I think what he's asking, did that ball land in the crowd? Because if it lands in the crowd, then it's a ground rule double. And then Ben Revere has to stay at third. But if the fan reaches over, then the ball's still in play.
You'll be able to watch Revere on your right and the ball on the left. The second hop.
So the ball never went into the stands. The fan reached over and interfered.
Remember the play in Detroit. The fan was standing in his seat and got hit in the chest, and they called fan interference, and it cost the Twins a run in the ball game.
Yeah, they just messed that call up. I think they got this call right. So an RBI double for Joe Mauer, picking up his 23rd on his 10th double of the year.
Here's Kadire, a single and a ground ball to third. Popped up behind first. Gonzalez in foul territory with the catch. Out number 2. Tomey to the plate. First time for the CenturyLink high-speed pitch.
Well, John Lester clocked as high as 94. And Nick Blackburn at 93. Blackburn with 6 shutout innings, 91 pitches. And Lester at 86 pitches.
And Tomey coming to the plate. Fan who interfered with the play is exiting the ballpark. Will be at least reassigned elsewhere. Here's Tomey. An RBI single on the first, a ground ball to third. In each case, Lester broke his bat. Strike one.
Well, these ballparks here are built so fan friendly. You know, fans can reach out and be almost on the playing field down the left field and right field lines.
And a fastball that misses 1-1. Pretty close pitch.
You know, fans don't want to interfere, but I'm sorry, if a Major League Baseball has hit my way, I'm going to try to get it. And those fans, you know, I mean, they're sitting right there on the railing.
swings and misses. 1-2.
Well, good hard, looked like a slider right there.
He's collected hits since his last home run, and some of it hit very sharply. He just has not hit the home run.
Well, geez, he's only hit 598 of them.
1-2.
What do you mean he can't hit 2 more? He will.
Breaking ball got him.
Nasty pitch.
So the Twins take a walk, get an RBI double from their third place hitter. They've doubled their lead.
Questions, and we have a question. A guy, Zach Bruce, actually Nate Sauer asking the question, saying Ben Revere has to be the only guy in the league that scores from first on a ground rule double with the hashtag Twins. And we have another one regarding pitcher Nick Blackburn tonight. Not to jinx it, Dick and Bert, but is Blackie back tonight is the next question. That comes from Matthew. If you log on to FoxSportsNorth.com's Game Connect, and this is the conversation, interactive Twitter conversation with Red Sox fans and also Twins fans. It's on the right side when you log on to Game Connect. Just as soon as you get to FoxSportsNorth.com, you'll see Game Connect right above the main story. You click on that and get involved in the interactive Twitter conversation. And that's the things that people are talking about right now.
Thank you, Robbie. Well, just to clarify, Ben Revere did not score on the ground rule double. He scored on fan interference. A ground rule double mandates 2 bases for the runners. Fan interference allows the umpire to place the runners at his discretion. And it appeared that they made the right call. Revere, one of the fastest men in the league, would have scored on any double. Salko-Lamakia retired and asked for the second point. This looks like a completely different Nick Blackburn than what we've seen in his last 3 starts. And I don't know that there's a pitcher in the league, certainly not on the Twins, that's more of a whipsaw pitcher than Nick Blackburn. He's the streakiest pitcher I think the Twins have had for a long time.
Well, it's good that he found it again here tonight against a very good ball club, the Boston Red Sox. You know, the key to Blackburn is right there. Get strike 1. 19 of 25 batters he's been able to get strike 1.
Reddick has chopped the ball twice to Kadire, 1 strike. And now a ball. Fox Tracks brought to you by Carrier. Blackburn has faced 5 batters only once tonight. And that was in the 4th inning after a pair of 1-out singles. Missing inside, 3-1.
That's the pitch I was talking about earlier, going, left and right. So far, look at great numbers. 5 hits allowed. Furthest base runner has been the second base for the Red Sox. Another ground ball out.
Sinker seems to be working. 2 down.
Well, John Lester would like 2 things not to happen, and that's the walks, because both walks have scored. He's walked 3, but 2 of the 3 have scored. Joe Mauer walked in the first, and then the RBI single by Jim Thome gave the Twins a 1-0 lead, and then we just saw in the 6th inning an RBI double by Joe Mauer. And Blackburn, you're doing a great job going left and right, not worrying about up and down, just left and right.
1-0 to Aviles. He has 2 of the Boston hits. A double in the 3rd and a single in the 5th.
Yeah, Aviles traded over to Boston on July 30th from the Kansas City Royal organization, where he was down in the minor leagues. Always a good hitter. He has had some injuries in the past that has kind of hindered his major league performance. But last year in 110 games for the Kansas City Royals, he hit .304. The Red Sox know he's a good player. Just keep him healthy.
3-1 now to the number 9 batter. Blackburn hoping to get Aviles, and that will complete 3 trips through this very tough Boston lineup. And he walked him.
Yeah, trying to overthrow that right there. Kind of got away from his game plan. Second walk for Blackburn. Blackburn with 103 pitches. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts.
Ellsbury with a hit in 3 trips. And Mauer coming out to talk to Blackburn. Red Sox got off to that slow start. Rick Anderson's going to join the meeting.
Well, Glenn Perkins just got up in the bullpen too, so this allows maybe Perk to get some more throws in down there. There's Glenn Perkins.
One of the turning points for the Red Sox after their slow start, the very beginning of May, they had 3 games where they were facing Felix Hernandez, Jared Weaver, and Dan Herron.
Pretty good pitchers.
You could make the point that they might be 3 of the toughest right-handed pitchers in the game, and the Red Sox won all 3 games. So that's got to boost your confidence when you get hammered in those 3 games with that type of great right-handed starting pitching, and then you win all 3 games.
Well, one thing, Boston, they've had some injuries, but they haven't been key injuries. Maybe Crawford was out for a little while. Jed Lowry just coming back.
Down and away to Ellsbury, ball 1.
This guy has stayed healthy. Dustin Pedroia, 2 guys that they missed last year, have been healthy and both having solid years.
Pedroia to this point of the game sitting, watching. 1-0. Off the glove of Blackburn, and the Twins will catch a break, but Plouffe fumbles the ball.
For some reason, he tried to go to second. You got to get the out at first right here. It looked like Plouffe was looking at second base to maybe try to flip it when he had the out at first. He had time to wait back on this. Take a look. Off the glove of Blackburn, he puts the glove up, deflects over to Plouffe, and then Plouffe looked like he was going to flip it over to second rather than, it's 2 outs right here. Get the out at first. Took his eye off the ball, and then the ball got away from him. So an error to Trevor Plouffe. Puts runners at first and second.
And now Marco Scutaro. So the Red Sox get an extra out here. And Blackburn's got to try to pitch around the 2-out walk. That's his fault.
You know what the thing is too, Dick? It's not only an error, it also, hopefully Blackie will work out of this. It just gets one more batter to the plate as the game goes on, and you don't want those guys in the middle lineup hitting that extra time.
And with the left hand hitting Gonzalez on deck, it all but assures that this will be the last batter Blackburn faces. He's got 107 pitches.
They've been 107 very good pitches. 6 2/3 innings of shutout baseball.
Showed you, I think, last night how the Red Sox have dramatically won games at the end. The last thing you want to do is give them extra outs in the final innings. There's a liner to left, and it'll get the Red Sox on the board. Young's throw coming to third base. So now it's a 2-1 ball game. The 2-out walk, the 2-out error, and a clutch hit by Scudero.
Again, it doesn't matter what club you're facing. You give them 4 outs an inning or 5, you're going to get hurt. And Blackburn left the pitch up right there, looked like a breaking ball, stayed middle in, and Scudero, who had 3 hits here on Friday night, got yesterday off, picks up an RBI single.
And that's what's happened during this losing streak for the Twins. They make a mistake, the other team capitalizes, and we'll see to what degree here in the 7th inning. With
great job by Blackburn.
Watch Gopher football behind the scenes of the Jerry Kill era tonight after the CenturyLink Twins postgame show only on Fox Sports North. Mentioned Nick Blackburn hasn't won a game since the All-Star break. He deserves to win this game. So this is a critical relief appearance now for Glenn Perkins.
Well, they're all critical, but you know, the way that Blackie went about his business here tonight, he should be out of this inning. And now Perkins trying to get the final out here on a very good hitter, and that being Adrian Gonzalez.
Blackburn had got him 3 times with the tying run at second, 2 away. Nolan Reimold has hit a 2-run home run against Jason Frazier, so the Orioles beat the White Sox, ended their winning streak 6-4 in 10 innings, and Cleveland beat Detroit 10-3. 2-1 here. Gonzalez with the tying run at second and 2 down. Check swing and a foul.
Perkins pretty much got the night off last night, but here on Monday night worked an inning and 2/3, gave up 3 hits, a run, a rare run.
And that scored after he left the ball game.
Joe Nathan allowed that run, but 23 pitches, 19 for strikes. Good fastball, and Gonzalez going out of his swing zone.
96 miles per hour just off the corner.
Doesn't matter if you're righty or lefty out on that mound. Gonzalez, a very good hitter.
Fouled away. Well, Perkins, who a little bit of a temper tantrum coming off the mound in his last start, trying to channel some of that energy in this at bat.
Well, too good a pitch right there. You're heading the count right there, and you saw by our Fox track that ball's right down the middle of the plate. You got to make a better pitch right here. Don't want to leave that up again.
2 strikes to Adrian Gonzalez.
Wilkins with a good fastball, hard slider.
96, 96, 96. And the last 2 have been flipped foul.
She caught it. She barehanded it.
As far as we know. Gonzalez has seen 3 straight 96-mile-per-hour fastballs after a first pitch slider. And Mauer asking for time. And all Blackburn can do is sit and watch. It's an unearned run the Red Sox have scored. Blackburn wanting to pick up win number 8 here tonight.
All fastballs so far to Gonzalez. That's where they've all been. There, good pitch. Oh, how do you lay off that pitch? Going to that slider. Gonzalez takes it like he knows the strike zone.
One and 2. High fly right field. Revere racing under it. Ends the inning. Perkins gets Gonzalez. Blackburn and the Twins still have the lead. Time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Medica. Get any size soft drink or sweet tea for just $1. And by CenturyLink. Quest is becoming CenturyLink. Your link begins here. Find out more at CenturyLink.com/link.
Ron Gardenhire talking to Trevor Plouffe about the mishap right there. I love what the Twins do in the top of the 7th. You know, for the 7th inning stretch, they show highlights of Harmon Killebrew. You know, from childhood through his playing days.
Yep.
Greatest players to ever wear a Twins uniform. Harmon Killebrew.
Danny Valencia will lead off the 7th against John Lester. And he takes down an in ball 1.
The Twins would like to come right back and get that run that the Twins allowed in the top of the inning. An unearned run for Nick Blackburn. 6 2/3 innings. 6 hits allowed, 1 run unearned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts.
Tapper to third. And Youkilis retires Valencia, is now 0 for 3 with 3 ground balls to the left side of the infield. That'll bring up Delman Young. Young has reached both times against John Lester. Walk leading off the second, single leading off the fifth. Here's the Pepsi Max in-game box score.
Yeah, 2 big hits. The RBI single by Tomey in the first, and then the RBI double that scored Ben Revere in the the sixth inning. The 2 runs the Twins have been able to put on the board against John Lester. And again, both runners that scored, base hit up the middle by Delmon Young, were walks by Lester.
So Young has reached all 3 times against a pretty tough left-handed pitcher, John Lester. And that'll bring up Trevor Plouffe.
Yeah, we get the numbers, coming into the ballgame. Delmon Young, 4 for 23 against Lester, just a 174 hitter. And you look and say, well, Lester's going to get this guy out. All of a sudden, a walk and 2 singles.
He's the one guy he can't get out.
Right.
Here's Plouffe. Just get the sense the Twins are going to need to score another run. Having seen what Boston has done late in its ball games over the last week or so, seen what's happened in this series, I just don't get a sense this is going to be a 2-1 ball game.
I hope it is. I hope, for 2 shutout innings, the bullpen can keep the score right at where it's at. It's usually how you get out of these little slumps. You need a well-pitched game. Well, they got that from Nick Blackburn. Now, it's up to the bullpen now.
Ellsbury had a couple of walk-off hits. Reddick had a walk-off hit. Ortiz has gotten the back-breaking hits in this series late. 2 strikes to Plouffe.
I like your confidence, though, Dick.
Well, I'm just saying. Twins need to score another run here. A lot better.
There
There's
we go.
A base hit to left. I feel a whole lot better with the score 3-1 than 2-1. How about that?
How about 4-1? How about Nishioka going deep?
I like your confidence.
Well, Trevor Plouffe picks up his first hit. Scudero, the shortstop, dives for the ball, but the ball scoots by him. Just out of a glove reach.
Nishioka with a couple of pop-ups to the second baseman, Aviles. One of them was turned into a double play when Young left too early from first base, or strayed too far from first base. Another pop-up to Aviles. And he drops the ball. Infield fly rule was called.
Yep.
So Nishioka is out. And I'm not so sure that was the right call.
Well, infield fly rule. I mean, your runners at first and second, 1 out.
But Aviles was never underneath the ball. I mean, he had a sprint.
Yeah, the second base umpire, Marvin Hudson, that calls it right here. Kind of watching right there. Right at the last second he called it because Aviles looked like he was under it, and then he just kind of boxed it up. But Nishioka is out automatically. Both runners stay where they're at, and that Delmon Young and Trevor Plouffe.
Here's Span. Oh for 3 with a strikeout. Hitless in his last 21 at bats. One and one. Generally, too, when a team breaks a losing streak or gets out of a slump, there are some key 2-out hits. And the Twins would love to get one here from Span just to get him off the schneid, maybe add a run or 2. Young at second, Plouffe at first. One and 2.
This would be a good spot for Denard Span to stop that little hitless streak.
You know, what we've seen throughout the hitless streak is from him, for him, an inordinately high number of swings and misses. Span's a pretty good contact guy. Fouling pitches off, keeping at bats alive, but we've seen a lot of swings like the one we just saw. Line foul. I'm sure he does it all the time, and probably did it through the first 2 games of the series, but I'm just very surprised at how shallow Ellsbury's playing in center field. And it's almost, as they say, 3 across with Crawford in left, Ellsbury in center, and Reddick in right. There's a lot of room in the gap.
Now Crawford, because Denard Span does hit the ball the other way, I mean, you know, slaps that ball the other way. But if he's able to pull the ball, might be able to get one in the gap in left or right center. He could run a long time.
One and 2 to Span. Checked his swing, 2 and 2.
Lester working him away with the fastball, then that hard slider away.
Inside, not by much. And it's a full count with 2 outs, so Young will be able to leave early from first, and so too Plouffe early from first. Young from second, Plouffe from first. And this will be pitch number 104 for Lester.
Yeah, Saltalamacchia and Lester going over how they're going to try to attack Denard Span right here on a 3-2 pitch. And Revere on deck.
Three and 2 to Span. Takes ball 4, and they're loaded up for Revere.
Well, the 4th walk for Lester.
And Span draws a big walk after falling behind in the count. He took some close pitches and ends up at first base.
Kurt Young, the pitching coach, out to give his lefty a little breather here as the bullpen starts to stir a little bit.
Alfredo Aceves, who won the ball game here the other night, starting to get loose. Revere, one of the few Twins hitters to hit the ball hard against Lester tonight. He hit a sharp single to center in the first inning. Then a strikeout and a walk to follow.
Revere scored the go-ahead run right now on that double by Mauer.
Bases full of Twins with 2 away.
Wouldn't a base hit look right good right here? Maybe a gapper somewhere.
And strike 1. Revere's covered a lot of ground in right field. We've seen him make a nice play retreating to the warning track in the right center, and then he ended the 7th inning by traveling a long way to catch Gonzalez's pop-up down the right field line.
Born to run.
1 strike. Chopper to Gonzalez. And he runs to the bag. The Twins leave the bases full. It remains 2-1. to you by Home Depot.
Well, Ben Revere going deep, 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 making a nice catch right there on the warning track. Good concentration, open up that glove, the ball falls in.
So now Perkins will start the 8th inning with Youkilis, Ortiz, and Crawford due up. And Matt Tolbert in at second base. Plouffe out of the ball game. One strike. Pounded foul, 2 strike. Perkins 2 games ago came in, got the Twins out of the 7th, pitched through the 8th, and then ran into some trouble in the 9th. Left the ball game. The Red Sox got a couple of runs.
Yeah, Nathan came in relief, gave up 3 straight hits, and that 1 run, one of those couple runs were Perkins.
1-2. The Yankees thumped the Angels 9-3 at Yankee Stadium tonight. The Yankees are the closest pursuer to the Red Sox, and Perkins strikes out Youkilis, 1 away.
A good bite on that breaking ball right there. Always important to get that first out, and Perkins does it with a strikeout. Watch this ball go straight down. Good hard breaking ball.
Is that what they call tilt on a slider?
Yeah.
Wow.
When you throw 96 and you throw that slider in the 80s, it's a nasty pitch.
Here's Ortiz. Fastball inside, no swing, 1-0. We talked about it, I think, a couple nights ago. Ortiz is the dramatic difference this year is how well he's fared against left-handed pitchers. Really struggled against them last year, really in the last couple of years, but not this year. Popped up, foul, and out of play, 1-1.
They just blew that ball by him, a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
It's been consistent tonight.
Well, everybody has a different timing mechanism as far as the hitter. And David Ortiz, he lifts that right leg up, you know, and that's kind of a timing mechanism for him.
One and two.
Watch that right leg of Ortiz. Up it comes, and then down.
And deep to center.
Yep.
Span going back, and Ortiz has tied the game.
So strong.
So Blackburn won't get the win. Ortiz hits his 23rd of the year. And again, against a left-handed pitcher.
Perkins, that's the first home run he's given up this year. A fastball. David Ortiz lifts that leg, drops it, all the weight on the back. And ties the game at 2 apiece.
Here's Crawford with 1 out in a tie game. Strike 1.
So I guess you were right. You sensed it. This ball club, they've been hot, especially late in games. That's how you win pennants.
Well, you guys did it not to the degree the Red Sox are doing it now, but in '87 there were a lot of games.
And
like
we did it in '79 too. We were a ball club, the Pittsburgh Pirates. We scored late.
Swing and a miss.
I know the hitters always said, just keep us close, keep us close. We're going to win this ball game. And the Pirates did in '79. They did in '87 too. Even though we won 85 ball games, we got better as we played.
Fouled off of Mauer's equipment, I think. 1 and 2. Except for his 4th inning single. Every hit Ortiz has had is resulted in a run scoring one way or the other in this series.
His 23rd home run of the year, his 372nd career home run.
Another one fouled off of Mauer. And Mauer took 2 in a row off of Crawford's bat. Oh my gosh. 3 foul tips in a row.
Another foul ball. Off the glove, off the mask.
And a breaking ball laced to center. Now Crawford's aboard with a 1-out single.
Yeah, Crawford and his speed. That slider just kind of hung right there, and Crawford hitting it sharply. Alex Burnett getting loose. Remember that pitch that struck out Youkilis? That ball went down. That one kind of flat a little bit.
Alex Burnett warming up. The Twins bullpen options a little thin, obviously. Perkins, who had to work to get the final out of the 7th, got Youkilis pretty quickly here in the 8th. Now a home run and a single. And Saltalamacchia will hit from the right side, 0 for 3 in the game. Popped up. And Kadire looks like he has room. On one pitch, Saltalamacchia is gone with the 2nd out. The Our Family Brands family section is back this season. Beginning at just $23, you can get a ticket in the family section. A Schweigert's hot dog and a Pepsi. Ticket availability is limited, so if you want to sit in the Our Family Brands family section, call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com.
I kind of knew this was going to happen. Somewhere Dustin Pedroia was going to get into this ball game, and here he is. Pinch hitting for Josh Reddick.
Pedroia hitting for Reddick. Reddick had gone 0 for 3 with 3 ground balls to the right side. Strike 1.
Pedroia on the year hitting .417 against left-handed pitchers. 50 hits in 120 at-bats.
Big swing and a foul. And Perkins gets ahead of him 0-2. Perkins the other night asked to finish the 7th. Did pitch in the 8th and then again in the 9th. Parts of 3 different innings. 2 strikes. Nice dig by Mauer, and Crawford is stuck at first. That's for a guy who's taken 3 foul tips here in this inning. Mauer is able to shift to the left and keep that ball in the dirt.
Hey, no a breaking ball coming. That ball ended up at the feet of Pedroia. A good job by Joe.
One and 2.
Crawford at first base, 13 stolen bases in 18 attempts.
Red Sox getting a run in the 7th, one so far here in the 8th. Foul back, heading into the radio booth. Went into the general manager's booth instead.
Almost got Dan Gladden.
Rob Anthony, the assistant general manager, flipping it out of the booth
to the young lady.
Another 1-2 pitch to Pedroia. Another blocked by Mauer, 2-2.
Good take right there by Pedroia. Ron Johnson, the first base coach, helping out Carl Crawford read the signs.
Perkins, stoic, trying to fight his way through the 8th inning.
Crawford slowed up a little bit with a hamstring injury. Not stealing the bases he normally does. He's led the American League in stolen bases 4 times throughout his career when he was with the Rays.
Two and two to Pedroia, and a sharp ground ball backhanded nicely by Tolbert, and he ends the inning. But in the inning, David Ortiz ties the game as Glenn Perkins allows the first home run he's allowed all year long.
I'm Robbie and Smikowski inviting you to stay tuned immediately following last pitch. We've got Twins Live presented by CenturyLink featuring the Toyota post-game wrap coming your way with Anthony LaPanta and Ron Coomer. Nick at time, Nick Blackburn, a spectacular 6 2/3 inning tonight, surrendering just the 6 hits and the unearned run. Playing catch for the purposes are instructional tonight. That's the proper way to play catch to get yourself warmed up with Ron Coomer and Burt Blylev. And you see a lot of pitchers play catch in the outfield before a start. They'll break that down, plus Gardy and his post-game press conference right out of his office attached to the Twins clubhouse here at Target Field. Dick Berman.
Well, thank you, Robbie. This is Burt Blylev, and I cannot wait to go down and do our instructional plate catch with Ron Coomer. Wow. It's going to be awesome.
1 strike to Joe Mauer. Are you suggesting that Ron Coomer should put on shin guards?
I haven't played catch since our fantasy camp.
Pedroia in at second base.
Now Vilas moving out to right from second base.
Bauer takes a strike on the inside corner, and it's 1-2.
Lester still out there, starting his 8th inning of work.
It's Bauer, Kadire, and Tomey. Seves continues to warm up in the Red Sox bullpen. To the backstop, 2-2.
I've talked to Terry Francona about the pitch count. He's not one that believes in the pitch count. A lot of it is, is your pitcher under duress? And all in all, since the first inning, Lester really has not been under duress, other than maybe, the walk to Revere in the 6th inning, where he needed 20 pitches. Other than that, pretty good pitch counts per inning.
3-2, and we'll see how committed they are to Lester in the 8th inning here, if he walks Bauer or if Bauer gets a base hit to lead off the inning. Kadire on deck. Three and 2 from John Lester to Joe Mauer. Missed inside, so Mauer draws the leadoff walk here in the 8th.
Yeah, it looked like he tried the breaking ball right there and missed inside. His 4th walk of the ball game. Now two of the 3 walks prior to this walk had scored for the Twins. The only runs the Twins had scored because of the walks.
Kadire, a single his first time up, a ground ball to third, and a foul out to first.
I'm sorry, Lester has 5 walks in the ball game.
Strike 1. Dig by Saltalamacchio, 1-1. Twins got the first 2 runs, 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 6th. Red Sox getting 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. Twins trying to build a threat against John Lester in the bottom half of the 8th. Now, you had Kadire for a home run tonight.
Yeah, I did. It's still coming, I hope. Lester's doing a good job of pitching him hard inside. All that pine tar on Kadire's bat. It makes me want to run down there and put my right hand on it.
Snap off a curveball. Right off the end of the bat. And Pedroia flips. And Mauer moves to second.
Kind of a swinging bunt. Does get Mauer in the scoring position.
Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. And Jim Thomey's hit a bunch of them in his career. 598. He's hit 334 of them for the Indians. 96 in the National League for the Phillies. 134 for the White Sox. None for the Dodgers. He just had a handful of pinch hitting appearances, and 34 so far for the Twins.
Yeah, my California math says that's 598.
An RBI single in the 1st for Thomey, and then a busted bat grounder in the 4th, and he went down swinging in the 6th. Strike on the inside corner. Outside, 1-1. Last year, Tomey hit for his highest average since 2006 with the White Sox. He hit .283. Nathan might get the ninth whether the Twins get the lead or not.
Well, you saw Alex Burnett up. Maybe Joe Nathan hoping that the Twins score right here will get that save opportunity.
Lace to left center.
Hit over his
and
head.
he has burned Crawford. Mauer held up. Will round third. He'll score the go-ahead run on another Tomey hit.
Tomey with his second RBI of the ball game took and kind of burned the defense for the Boston Red Sox. Crawford playing in. Don't know if he would have been able to catch it anyway. But Tomey taking this pitch, a good breaking ball the other way. Look at the eye concentration. And Crawford, the ball hit over his head and then stuck in the fence right there.
Tomey with 2 run-producing hits, and he's out of the ball game with the Twins in front.
The big RBI double, and Lester's going to look back at this outing and say, you know what, there's 5 walks, 3 have scored.
Yeah.
But a big RBI double by Jim Tomey, a second RBI, and the Twins take a 3-2 lead. Alfredo Aceves coming into the ballgame. He got the win here on Monday night. Very good win-loss record. He was worked 76 in the 3rd innings. Made 4 starts for the Boston Red Sox earlier this year.
Well, Mauer drew the leadoff walk, scored on the Tomey double, and now with Repko running for Tomey and Valencia at the plate, Tomey will not hit home run number 600 here at Target Field in this homestand. And Repko hoping to score an insurance run with 1 out. Valencia and presumably Young would have a chance to bring him in with a hit. In case you're wondering why there have been so many pinch running appearances this year, I'm sure part of the reason is Ron Gardenhire feels, look, the longer this game goes, it's advantage, in this case, Boston. He's trying to win this game in 9 innings because with the bullpen in the state that it's in, and the Red Sox have a better bullpen than the Twins, you try to win a game in 9 and hope it doesn't go extra innings. Do what you can to win in regulation. Because the longer the game goes, the better the advantage the other team has. One strike. That's all to LaMacchia. A nice block. 1-1.
Well, one thing we saw from Aceves here on Monday night, good movement on his fastball. Got a curveball, very good changeup. Aceves with the Yankees for 3 seasons before coming over and signing as a free agent by the Red Sox, which normally doesn't happen.
1-1. 2-1. That's a fair ball down the line. Repko's going to score. And Valencia pads the Twins' lead.
After hitting 3 ground ball outs, Danny Valencia turned on this pitch from Aceves and gets this ground ball past Youkilis. He had hit already a couple ground balls to Kevin Youkilis. This one opening up quickly, hitting it right down that third base line, hugging that line, going over the bag, staying fair. So Repko scores, second run of the inning. Twins take a 4-2 lead.
And now Young, who's got 2 hits and a walk tonight. Breaking ball. Ball 1.
Yeah, Repko scoring, so the book is closed on John Lester. 7 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, all earned with 5 walks and 4 strikeouts.
Two and 0. Inside 3-0. Tolbert on deck.
And they're going to go ahead and walk him. Terry Francona holding up 4 pitches. So the intentional walk to Delman Young. Bring up Matt Tolbert.
And Tolbert will hit for the first time weekdays on Fox Sports North. It's the Dan Patrick Show. Exclusive guests, high-profile athletes, celebrities. Breaking sports news, unparalleled insider access. Friday, Vikings quarterback Donovan McNabb is scheduled to appear. It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekdays at 8 in the morning on Fox Sports North. Andrew Miller, sometime starter, sometime reliever, is getting loose. Bloof had gone 1 for 3. Red Sox tied up in the top of the inning. The Twins come back with at least a deuce in the bottom. Inside and a foul ball, 1 strike. That's hit well to right field. And off the warning track. Valencia was holding at second base. He'll only gain third. That's a ball you got to play halfway, don't you?
You know what? It's the way that Aceves went after that ball. He looked like he was going to catch it. And I think that's what Danny Valencia was looking at. Take a look at the right fielder. Now, Tolbert hitting this ball, but he looks like he's going to track it, and then the ball hits over his head. And I think Danny kind of followed the ball like, okay. Now he's got to go halfway. I mean, he was looking to tag up, but
Tolbert gets a single.
That's a tough play right there. I don't know exactly what Danny did right or wrong right there. It's a tough play to read sometimes.
Usually when the manager's cap is off, he's unhappy with something that happened on the field. And a ball hit over an outfielder's head with a runner at second. That runner almost always should score.
Again, he's looking to tag up right there, and that he's talking to Steve Little about it. Was it a mistake, or what do I do right there?
Well, 5 men have reached to the 6th to come to the plate here in the 8th.
I was watching Vilas out and right. It looked like he was going to catch that ball from my angle, and that's maybe what Danny saw.
Infield in for the Red Sox. Nishioka 0 for 3. He's hit the ball in the air 3 times to Aviles. Ball 1. Now Aviles is out in right field. If he wants to hit it out to Aviles again, that'd be just fine. One and one.
Let's see if Nishioka can slap one of those pitches past the drawn-in infield.
Two and one. Valencia at third. Young at second. Tolbert at first. Twins already leading by a pair, and Nishioka can bust the game open here. Three and one.
I should get a fastball here, see if he can drive it somewhere.
Three and one to Nishioka. Up the middle and through. Valencia. Young coming in. Throw to the plate. Out at the plate. So 1 run scores. 1 is thrown out at the plate. And 2 men now in scoring position for Span.
Well, because Nishioka doesn't have a lot of power, Ellsbury playing pretty shallow. Now Nishioka getting a big RBI single. Delman Young getting thrown out at home.
Commenting on Ellsbury playing shallow, that's why.
Yeah, right there. Because Ellsbury able to come in, makes a good throw to Saltalamacchia on the hop, and then a quick tag of Delman Young at home plate.
3 for the Twins so far. Pitching change for Boston.
over, what do you do right there? You know, do you tag up or do you go halfway? Scotty Alger right there.
You're trying to read the gestures and the lips, suggesting that if the player's camped under it, then maybe you go back to tag. You can still play it halfway, and if the outfielder's running away from you, I don't know. It's a dilemma. You try not to make a mistake, and then that's, of course, exactly what you do.
I like the way that Aviles went after that ball. He looked like he was going to catch it.
Here's Span against Andrew Miller, the control-challenged Andrew Miller. This guy throws hard and has sometimes started for the Red Sox, for the Marlins, for the Tigers.
His whole career has been like that. Just has not found that consistency as far as throwing strikes. 27 walks in 43 innings pitched.
How about this? A left-handed version of Jim Hoey. Kind of got the same physique. Tall, slender.
Yeah, Miller at 6'7".
2-0 to Span. Couple of men out there in scoring position. 3-0. This is what the Tigers saw, the Marlins saw, and the Red Sox have seen this year too.
Well, he started in AAA, pitched pretty well down there, then called up in June. He has made 8 starts for the Boston Red Sox.
He was supposed to start the opening game of this series.
Yeah, 4 wins, 1 loss in the 8 starts. This is his second relief appearance.
And he never came close to throwing a strike. They're loaded up for Revere.
Miller, the #1 pick by the Tigers, 6th overall in the 2006 draft out of the University of North Carolina, just 26 years old.
He's walked over 200 men in just under 350 innings. So
be patient.
Now, here's Revere. A single and a walk for Revere, and the bases are reloaded. Strike one. Remember when the Tigers drafted him, signed him, and this was the 2006 season. They were strong suggestions. There were strong suggestions that Miller would be added to the playoff roster. That they felt that one of the areas where the Tigers needed some help was left-handed, a power left-hander. And he was not added to the playoff roster. One and one. Breaking ball, a strike.
And a hard breaking ball at that. So Miller ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
One and two to Ben Revere. And a half swing and a high fastball ends the inning. Good inning, though, for the Twins. They score 3 and lead 5-2. Stay tuned for the Gander Mountain weekend weather update for Twins territory. No home runs for Jim Thome tonight, but 2 big run-producing hits.
Yeah, for Jim Thome, an RBI single in the first inning and then an RBI double in the 8th inning. Joe Mauer scoring a couple runs on a couple walks. RBI double himself in the 6th inning.
And Nathan comes in with a 3-run lead, a save situation. He'll face the number 9 batter Vilas to lead things off.
Yeah, Nathan with 254 career Twin saves got a chance to pass Ricky Aguilera with a save here tonight for the all-time Twin save leader.
Vilas, Ellsbury, Scudero in the 9th. High and tight with 93.
Yeah, Nathan looking for his 9th save of the year, and the last time the Twins had a save, you have to go back to July 26th in Texas.
Yikes.
Nathan picked up his 8th save in a 9-8 win over the Rangers.
Fouled back 1-1. Vilas with a double in the 3rd, a single in the 5th, a walk and a run scored in the 7th. On the hands, 2-1.
Yeah, Nathan worked here on Monday night at just a 1/3 of an inning. He gave up 3 hits, 1 run through 15 pitches, 10 for strikes. Came in relief of Perkins in the 9th inning and gave up 3 straight hits. Finally got the out in the 9th. Twins lost that ball game 8-6.
And now 3-1. Ellsbury on deck.
Right down the heart of the plate. That's where you want this pitch. Right there.
3-2.
Make this guy no free passes here late in the ball game. Make him hit the ball.
Down the right field line into the seats. Not a dramatic increase in velocity, but a gradual one. I think early in the season we see Joe throw 91, 92, maybe 93, and now generally 93, 94, 95.
Another fastball. Joe Mauer's going to sit right down the heart of the plate again.
And Vilas, 93, flips it foul.
Grab. Nice souvenir.
That's poked to left. Nishioka with a nice play.
Well, Avila's hitting right off the end of the bat. The ball looked like it was going to flare into left field, but Nishioka turned around and ran to where he thought that ball was going to be and made a nice catch. Good concentration. Watch Nishioka go straight back. Nice play.
So 1 down in the 9th. And here's Ellsbury. Ball 1.
Good job by Nathan right there. Fell behind 3-1, just kept pumping the fastball in there. Finally, Avilas made the out.
Well, those leadoff walks tend to get the attention of both dugouts, don't they?
Yes, they do.
One 1-0 to Ellsbury. One and one. Ooh, that is a really good sign. Ellsbury is locked in as anybody in the league right now, and Nathan on strike two made him look foolish.
Good hard breaking ball there, down.
One and two. Two down. A quicker breaking ball and another awkward swing by a really good hitter. Jimmy John's delivery of the game provided by Jim Thome.
Yeah, in the first inning, an RBI single gave the Twins an early 1-0 lead. And then in the 8th inning, Jim Thome knocking in Joe Mauer for the second time with that RBI double. So Nathan 1 out away from becoming the all-time Twin save leader. Tied with Rick Aguilera with 254 saves as a Minnesota Twin.
Ball one, moving Scudero off the plate.
The thing is, Nathan knows that too. You know, he's been creeping up the ladder, passing Eddie Guardado, tying Rick Aguilera.
In his tenure here, he has seen Aguilera get the ovation last weekend.
Yep.
And being inducted into the Twins Hall of Fame, so he knows the significance of what he hopefully is about to do. 1-1. And has professed a desire to finish his career with the Twins. 1-2.
Well, he come back from the Tommy John surgery. It was frustrating at the beginning of the year. Took himself out of that closer role, and now he's back in. He's worked hard to get where he's at right now. One good pitch away.
Up high and foul to the net.
Anytime you're on an all-time list, it's pretty cool.
One and two to Marco Scudero. Bouncer to short. Nishioka fields. The Twins back in the win column, and Joe Nathan is the all-time saves leader for the Minnesota Twins.
Good win for the Twins. They scored late like Boston has been doing, and they can leave on this road trip a day off tomorrow with a smile on their face. Congratulations, Joe Nathan.
Absolutely. The major interruption with the Tommy John surgery and the disabling in the middle of this season. And he got there in a game the Twins needed to have to hopefully, Anthony, set up what will be a successful and season-saving road trip.
A little momentum in the right direction for Minnesota tonight as they score late to beat the Sox 5-2. The losing streak over. We'll take a look at a big night for Jim Thome. And here